Hey, you made it. I'm so glad you're here with me tonight. Really, I mean it. It's nice to know you're out there, all cozy and ready to listen. Maybe you're snuggled up in bed, your blanket pulled up to your chin. Or maybe you're like me sometimes, with one leg sticking out from under the covers because you like to live a little wild. That's okay. That's perfect, actually. Wherever you are, however you're settled in, I'm happy you're here. Let's take a moment to get comfy. Picture yourself in the softest, warmest spot you can imagine. Maybe your pillow is fluffed just right, or maybe you've got a favorite stuffed animal tucked next to you. Can you feel the quiet? Can you hear the stillness of the night? It's like the world is taking a big, slow breath and you're part of it. That's what tonight is all about. Finding that calm, cozy place where you can just be. Before we dive into our story, I want to ask you something. It's a little question just for fun because I love hearing from you. Where are you listening from right now? Are you in your bedroom, maybe with glow-in-the-dark stars on the ceiling? Or are you in a living room, curled up on a couch with a big blanket? Maybe you're somewhere totally different, like a car on a long drive, watching the world go by. And what time is it where you are? Is it late at night, with the moon shining outside? Or is it early evening and the sky is still a little pink? I love imagining you out there all over the world listening to this at different times. It makes me feel like we're all connected, like we're sharing this quiet moment together. When I read your answers later, it's like opening a present. I'll be up way too late, probably with a cup of tea, smiling like a sleepy raccoon as I picture you in your cozy spot. So if you want, tell me where you are and what time it is. No rush though, you can just think about it and that's enough. This is your time to relax, to let go of the day, and to sink into something soft and gentle. Tonight, we're going to talk about something really special. It's a story from a long, long time ago when the world was very different. It's called Why Medieval Farmers Slept Twice for the Best Sleep in History. Doesn't that sound interesting? Medieval farmers were people who lived hundreds of years ago, working on farms, growing food, and taking care of animals. And they had a funny way of sleeping. They didn't just sleep all night like we try to do. They slept twice, 2 sleeps in one night. At first, they'd sleep for a little while, then wake up in the middle of the night, and then go back to sleep again. It was like having 2 cozy naps in one night, and it helped them feel so rested. I know it sounds a little strange, right? But it was normal for them and it worked. Their lives were so different from ours. They didn't have phones or computers or bright lights keeping them awake. They had firelight, stars, and the quiet of the night. Their world was slower, softer, and full of simple things. And that's what we're going to explore tonight. How those farmers lived, how they worked, and how they slept so well, even without fancy beds or soft pillows. Let's settle in a bit more. Take a deep breath, nice and slow. In through your nose, out through your mouth. Feel your shoulders relax like they're sinking into the bed. Let your arms feel heavy like they're resting on a cloud. This is your time, your moment to let everything else fade away. The world outside can wait. Right now, it's just you, me, and this story about a time when sleep was a gentle friend. Imagine you're in a little village, far away and long ago. The houses are made of wood and straw, with roofs that look like they're wearing hats. The air smells like fresh dirt and warm bread. There's a soft glow from a fire somewhere and the stars are twinkling above. It's nighttime and the village is quiet. The only sounds are the wind rustling the trees and maybe a goat bleating in the distance. Everyone is getting ready for bed, ready for their first sleep of the night. Can you picture it? Can you feel how peaceful it is? That's where we're going tonight. We're going to walk through that village, meet some of the people, and learn about their lives. We'll talk about how they worked hard all day, how they ate simple meals, and how they curled up in their beds ready to rest. We'll learn why their sleep was so special, why sleeping twice felt so good, and why the night was like a warm hug for them. It's a story that's slow and calm, perfect for helping you feel sleepy, too. But before we go there, let's talk a little more about you. I know I already asked where you are and what time it is, but I'm curious about something else. What's your favorite way to get cozy? Do you like piling up blankets until you're in a big, fluffy nest? Or do you have a special pajamas that make you feel extra comfy? Maybe you like listening to soft music or hearing stories like this one. Whatever it is, I bet it's perfect for you. I love thinking about all the different ways people get ready for bed. It's like everyone has their own little bedtime magic. For me, I like to have a warm drink like hot cocoa or chamomile tea. I sit by a window, look at the stars, and let my mind get quiet. Sometimes I imagine I'm in a place like that medieval village where everything is simple and slow. It helps me feel calm, like I'm part of something bigger. What about you? What makes you feel calm and ready for sleep? You don't have to tell me out loud. Just think about it and let that cozy feeling wrap around you like a soft blanket. Now let's talk a tiny bit more about this story we're going to hear. I don't want to give too much away because the fun is in discovering it together. But I can tell you it's about people who lived a long time ago in a world without all the busy things we have today. They didn't have cars or TVs or even electric lights. Their days were full of work, like planting seeds, taking care of animals, and making food. But their nights were for resting, for sinking into sleep in a way that felt so natural. These farmers had a special way of living. They followed the sun and the stars. When the sun went down, they knew it was time to slow down. They lit fires to keep warm, ate simple meals, and got ready for bed. And their sleep wasn't just one long snooze. They had a first sleep where they'd rest for a few hours. Then they'd wake up in the middle of the night, maybe to talk or think or just listen to the quiet. And then they'd have a second sleep, drifting off again until morning. It was like having two chances to feel cozy and rested every night. I think that sounds kind of nice, don't you? Imagine going to bed, knowing you get to sleep, wake up for a little while, and then sleep again. It's like getting two bedtime stories in one night. And the best part, they didn't worry about sleep the way we sometimes do. They didn't check clocks or count hours. They just let their bodies rest when they were tired. That's what made their sleep so special, and that's what we're going to learn about tonight. Let's get even cozier now. Wiggle your toes under the blanket. Feel how soft your bed is, how it holds you just right. If you're feeling a little sleepy already, that's okay. That's what this story is for. It's here to help you relax, to let your mind wander, and to carry you off to a peaceful place. If you're still wide awake, that's okay too. Just listen to my voice, follow the story, and let yourself sink into the calm. I want you to imagine something with me for a moment. Close your eyes if you want, or just picture it in your mind. Imagine you're lying in a field, soft grass under you, and a big starry sky above. The air is cool but not cold, and there's a gentle breeze brushing your face. You can hear crickets chirping, soft and far away. The stars are so bright, like little lights just for you. You feel safe, warm, and completely at peace. That's what the night felt like for those medieval farmers. It was a time to rest, to dream, and to let the world be still. Can you feel that calm? Can you feel how quiet it is? That's what we're chasing tonight. We're going to let our minds go back to that time, to that village, and we're going to feel that same peace. We're going to learn about people who worked hard but rested well, who knew how to let the night take care of them. And maybe, just maybe, we'll learn a little about how to rest better ourselves. I'm so happy you're here with me. I know I've said that already, but I really mean it. It's special to share this time with you, to tell you this story, and to help you find that cozy, sleepy place. You don't have to do anything right now. You don't have to be anywhere or finish anything. All you have to do is listen, breathe, and let the story carry you. Let's think about that village again. Picture the houses, small and sturdy, with smoke curling up from their chimneys. Picture the fields, full of crops like wheat and barley swaying in the wind. Picture the animals, cows, goats, chickens, all settled in for the night. And picture the people, like you and me, getting ready for bed. They're tired from a long day, but they're content. They know sleep is coming, and they're ready for it. That's what this story is about. It's about those people, their lives, and their sleep. It's about how they found peace in the dark, how they let the night hold them close. It's a story that's slow and gentle, just like the night itself. And it's a story that's perfect for right now when you're ready to rest. One more time, let's get cozy. Take another deep breath, slow and easy. Feel your chest rise and fall like waves on a calm sea. Let your hands rest wherever they're comfortable. If your eyes are heavy, let them close. If they're still open, that's fine too. Just let my voice guide you like a soft light in the dark. Tonight, we're going to travel back in time. We're going to visit that medieval village, meet some farmers, and learn about their two sleeps. We're going to feel the quiet of their nights, the warmth of their fires, and the softness of their beds. We're going to discover why their sleep was so good and how it helped them live happy, simple lives. But for now, just rest, just listen. Just be. You're exactly where you need to be, and I'm right here with you. Let's settle in nice and slow and let the story begin. We're going back to a time when the night was long and sleep was a gentle friend. Ready? Here we go. Close your eyes for a moment, or just let your mind wander. Picture a world so different from ours, a world where everything is quiet and slow. There are no bright lights buzzing overhead, no phones beeping or ringing, no cars zooming by. Instead, there's just the soft, warm glow of a fire flickering in a little house. There's the sound of wind rustling through trees and maybe a cow mooing far away. This is a medieval village, a place where people lived a long, long time ago, hundreds of years before you and I were born. Life back then was so different, and tonight, we're going to step into that world together. In this village, everything moves with the sun. When the sun wakes up in the morning, painting the sky with pink and gold, the people wake up too. They stretch their arms, yawn, and start their day. When the sun goes to sleep at night, sinking below the hills and turning the sky dark, the people rest too. Their lives follow the rhythm of the seasons, spring for planting, summer for growing, fall for harvesting, and winter for staying warm by the fire. It's a slow, steady rhythm like a heartbeat, and it makes their days feel calm and simple. These people are farmers. They work hard every day, taking care of their fields and animals. They plant seeds in the dirt, hoping they'll grow into wheat or barley or vegetables. They feed their chickens, milk their cows, and make sure their goats don't run away. Their hands are always busy and their clothes are often covered in dirt and sweat. But they don't mind. This is their life and it's full of purpose. They know their work helps feed their families and their village, and that makes them feel proud. Let's imagine walking through this village. The houses are small, made of wood and straw. The roofs look like they're made of thick, golden grass, keeping the rain out. Smoke curls up from chimneys because every house has a fire inside to keep it warm. The air smells like fresh earth, baking bread, and maybe a little bit of animal fur. There are fields all around, stretching out like big green blankets, dotted with crops and wildflowers. In the distance, you might see a forest, dark and quiet, or a stream sparkling under the sun. The people here don't have the things we have today. They don't have electric lights to make the night bright. They don't have TVs or computers or games on screens. They don't even have clocks to tell them what time it is. Instead, they look at the sky. The sun tells them when to work, and the stars tell them when to rest. Their days are full of simple things: digging in the dirt, carrying water, feeding animals, and talking with their neighbors. It's a life that's hard but good, busy but peaceful. Now let's talk about the night, because that's what this story is really about. The nights in this village are special. When the sun goes down, the world gets quiet. The fields are still, the animals are sleepy, and the people start to slow down. They light fires in their houses, and the soft glow makes everything feel warm and safe. They eat a simple meal, maybe some warm soup or bread, and they get ready for bed. But their sleep isn't like ours. They don't just sleep all night long from bedtime to morning. They sleep in two parts, and it's called biphasic sleep. Biphasic sleep is a funny word, but it's easy to understand. It means sleeping twice in one night. First, they have a first sleep. They go to bed early, maybe right after the sun sets, and they sleep for a few hours. It's a deep, cozy sleep, like sinking into a warm hug. Then in the middle of the night, they wake up for a little while. They might talk to their family, think about their day, or just listen to the quiet. It's not a big deal, it's just part of their night. After a while, they go back to sleep for their second sleep, resting until the sun comes up again. It's like having two naps in one night, and it feels so natural to them, like breathing or eating. Can you imagine that? Sleeping, waking up, and then sleeping again all in one night. It sounds different, but for these farmers, it's the best way to rest. Their bodies know when to sleep and when to wake because they listen to the world around them. The dark night, the cool air, and the quiet sounds all tell them it's time to rest. And when they sleep well because their days are full of hard work and their nights are full of calm. Let's picture a night in this village. The sky is dark, like a big, soft blanket covered with tiny, twinkling stars. The moon is glowing, maybe full and round, or maybe just a thin sliver. The houses are quiet, with only a little light coming from the fires inside. You can hear the wind, gentle and cool, brushing through the fields. Somewhere a dog barks, but it's far away and soft. A goat might bleat, or a chicken might cluck in its sleep. It's a peaceful world where the night feels like a friend, not something to be afraid of. The farmers love the night. During the day, they're busy with their work, planting, harvesting, or taking care of animals. Their hands are always moving and their minds are focused on what needs to be done. But when the night comes, they can let go. They don't have to worry about the fields or the animals. They don't have to think about tomorrow's chores. The night is for resting, for sinking into stillness, for letting their bodies and minds be quiet. Their beds are simple, not like the soft, fluffy beds we have today. They sleep on mattresses made of straw, which is like dried grass. The straw is stuffed into a big cloth bag and it crinkles when they lie down. It's not super comfortable, but it's enough. They cover themselves with rough wool blankets, which are warm but a little scratchy. Sometimes they sleep close to their families, all in one big bed or on mats on the floor. It's cozy, even if it's not fancy, and it makes them feel safe. The farmers don't have alarm clocks to wake them up. They don't need them. The sun is their clock, and so are the animals. When the rooster crows or the cows start mooing, they know it's time to get up. Their lives are tied to the world around them, to the light and the dark, the warm and the cold. It's a simple life, but it's full of meaning. They know their work matters, and they know their rest matters too. Let's think about what it's like to live like this. Imagine waking up when the sun rises, your eyes blinking open as the light creeps through a small window. You hear birds singing outside and you smell the fresh air. You get out of bed, your feet touching the cool dirt floor, and you start your day. You work hard, maybe digging in the fields or carrying heavy buckets of water. Your hands get dirty and your back gets tired, but you keep going. You talk to your neighbors, laugh with your family, and watch the sun move across the sky. When the sun starts to set, you feel your body slow down. The air gets cooler and the world gets quieter. You go inside your little house, light a fire, and eat a warm meal. Your belly is full and your eyes are heavy. You know it's time for your first sleep. You crawl into bed, pull the blanket over you, and let the dark wrap around you like a soft hug. You sleep deeply, dreaming of fields or stars or maybe nothing at all. A few hours later, you wake up, but you're not scared. The night is still there, calm and quiet, and you know you'll sleep again soon. This is how the farmers lived, day after day, night after night. Their lives were hard, but they were also beautiful. They didn't have all the things we have today, but they had what they needed. They had food from their fields, warmth from their fires, and rest from their sleeps. They had families to love, animals to care for, and a village to share with their neighbors. And they had the night, which was like a gentle friend, always there to help them rest. The dark wasn't something to be afraid of. Today we sometimes don't like the dark. We turn on lights, check our phones, or watch TV to keep the night away. But for these farmers, the dark was a blanket. It covered them softly, telling them it was okay to stop, to rest, to let go. When the sun went down, they didn't fight the night. They welcomed it. They knew it was time to be still, to let their bodies and minds relax. Biphasic sleep was part of this. Sleeping twice in one night wasn't strange for them. It was just how their bodies worked. After a long day of work, they were tired, and the first sleep came easily. Waking up in the middle of the night wasn't a problem. It was a chance to think, to talk, or to just be quiet. Maybe they looked at the stars through a window, or maybe they listened to the wind. Then when they were ready, they went back to their second sleep, resting until morning. It was a rhythm like the sun rising and setting, and it made their sleep feel so good. Let's imagine one of these farmers for a moment. Picture a woman named Edith. She's kind and hardworking, with a big smile and hands that are always busy. She loves her little house, her chickens, and her family. Every day she works in the fields, planting seeds or pulling weeds. She carries water from the stream, feeds the animals, and helps her neighbors. By the time the sun sets, she's tired, but she's happy. She eats her dinner, sits by the fire, and gets ready for bed. Edith knows the night is coming, and she's glad. She crawls into her straw bed, pulls her blanket up, and closes her eyes. The dark is all around her, but it's not scary. It's soft and warm, like a big, cozy hug. She falls asleep quickly, her breathing slow and steady. A few hours later, she wakes up. The house is quiet and the fire is low. She might whisper to her husband, or she might just lie there thinking about her day. There's no rush, no worry. The second sleep is coming, and she knows it'll be just as good as the first. This is what life was like for Edith and the other farmers. Their days were full of work, but their nights were full of rest. They didn't have fancy things, but they had enough. They had the sun to guide their days, the stars to light their nights, and the dark to hold them close. They had biphasic sleep, with 2 chances to rest every night, and it made them feel strong and ready for each new day. As we think about this village, let's take a deep breath. Feel your chest rise and fall, slow and easy. Imagine you're there in that quiet world where the night is soft and the sleep is deep. Can you hear the wind? Can you see the stars? Can you feel the calm? This is the world we're stepping into tonight, a world where life was different but so beautiful. It's a world where the dark was a blanket, not a fear, and where sleep was a gentle friend. Let's stay here a little longer in this peaceful village. Picture the houses again with their straw roofs and smoky chimneys. Picture the fields dark and quiet under the stars. Picture the people all resting in their beds, ready for their first sleep. They're not worried about tomorrow. They're not afraid of the dark. They're just letting the night take care of them, letting their bodies rest in the way they know best. This is the world we're going to explore tonight. We're going to learn more about these farmers, their lives, and their sleeps. We're going to meet Edith and see what her days are like. We're going to feel the rhythm of their world, the slow, steady beat of work and rest. And we're going to discover why their sleep was so special, why sleeping twice was the best way for them to rest. For now, just let yourself sink into this moment. Feel the calm, the quiet, the softness of the night. You're safe here just like those farmers were safe in their village. You're cozy just like they were cozy in their beds. And you're ready to hear more, to step deeper into their world where the dark is a friend and sleep is a gift. Let's go there together, nice and slow, and see what we find. Let's settle into our cozy story and meet someone special. Her name is Edith, and she lives in a small village far away and long ago. Edith is a farmer's wife, which means she helps her family grow food and take care of animals. She's not a queen or a princess, but she's important in her own way, and she's so easy to like. Picture a woman with a round, happy face, always a little smudged with flour because she's been making bread. Her cheeks are rosy, like apples, and her eyes twinkle when she smiles. When she laughs, it's soft and gentle, like the coo of a sleepy dove settling down for the night. That Edith, and she's going to be our friend in this story. Edith lives in a little house made of wood and straw. It's not big or fancy, but it's warm and full of love. The roof is covered with thick grass like a blanket for the house, and there's a small fire inside that makes everything glow. Edith's house smells like fresh bread, warm soup, and a little bit of hay from the animals nearby. She loves her home, even if it's simple, because it's where she feels safe and happy. Now let's imagine Edith standing outside her house. She's wearing a long dress made of rough cloth with a scarf tied around her head to keep her hair out of her face. Her hands are strong from working all day, but they're gentle too, especially when she's petting her chickens. Oh, Edith loves her chickens. She has a whole flock of them clucking and scratching in the dirt. She gives them funny names like Fluffy, Pecky, and Waddle, and she talks to them like they're her friends. Sometimes the chickens peck at her toes when she scatters grain for them, and Edith just giggles. "Oh, you silly things," she says, shaking her head. Even when they're naughty, she loves them. Edith's life is busy, but it's simple. Every day she wakes up when the sun rises and she starts her work. She helps in the fields where her family grows crops like barley and wheat. She pulls weeds, plants seeds, and carries water from the stream to keep the plants happy. She also takes care of the animals, chickens, cows, and a few goats. She feeds them, cleans their pens, and makes sure they're safe. Sometimes she milks the cows or collects eggs from the chickens. It's hard work, and by noon, Edith is already tired. Her arms ache and her eyes feel heavy, but her heart is warm. She loves her family, her animals, and her village, and that makes all the work worth it. Let's picture Edith in the morning. The sun is just coming up and the sky is pink and soft. Edith steps outside her house, her bare feet touching the cool dirt. She stretches her arms and yawns, a big sleepy yawn that makes her whole body shake. The air smells fresh, like grass and flowers, and she can hear her chickens clucking nearby. "Good morning, my darlings," she says to them, tossing a handful of grain. The chickens run to her, their feathers fluffing up, and Edith smiles. She loves starting her day like this, with the sun and her animals. After feeding the chickens, Edith walks to the fields. The fields are big and green, full of plants growing tall. She kneels down in the dirt, her hands digging to pull out weeds that might hurt the crops. The sun is warm on her back and she hums a little song, soft and slow. It's not a fancy song, just something she makes up as she works. "Grow, little plants, grow," she sings, her voice quiet like a whisper. The work is hard and her hands get dirty, but Edith doesn't mind. She knows these plants will turn into food for her family, and that makes her happy. By the time the sun is high in the sky, Edith is tired. Her legs are sore from walking and her eyes are starting to droop. She sits down for a moment, leaning against a tree. The shade is cool and the breeze feels nice on her face. She looks at the fields, the village, and the blue sky above. "It's a good day," she says to herself, even though she's sleepy. Edith's heart is full because she knows she's doing important work, but she also knows that rest is coming. The day is long, but the night will be soft and cozy. Edith's family is her favorite thing in the world. She has a husband named Alf, who's strong and kind, with a big laugh that makes everyone smile. They have 2 children, Wolf and Alfric, who are small but full of energy. Wolf is always running around, chasing the chickens, and Alfric loves to sit in the dirt and draw pictures with a stick. Edith loves watching them play, even when they get muddy and need a bath. At night, she curls up with her family, all of them closed together in their little house. It's warm and safe, and it makes Edith feel like everything is okay. Let's imagine Edith at home with her family. The sun is starting to set and the sky is turning orange and purple. Edith is inside, stirring a pot of soup over the fire. The soup is made of vegetables from the fields and it smells so good, like warmth and home. Alf is sitting nearby, fixing a broken tool, and the boys are playing on the floor, giggling and rolling around. Edith looks at them and smiles. "Time to eat," she says, and they all gather around a small wooden table. They eat their soup and bread, talking and laughing. It's a simple meal, but it fills their bellies and makes them happy. After dinner, Edith starts getting ready for bed. She knows the night is special because it's time for the first sleep. In her village, people sleep twice every night. They have a first sleep where they rest for a few hours, then wake up for a little while, and then have a second sleep until morning. It's called biphasic sleep, and it's how Edith and her family rest. Edith loves this because it's like getting 2 cozy naps in one night. Her body knows when it's time to sleep, and the dark helps her feel calm and ready. Edith's bed is not like the beds we have today. It's made of straw, like the dried grass you see in fields. The straw is stuffed into a big cloth bag and it crinkles when she lies down. It's lumpy and not very soft, but Edith doesn't care. She has a rough wool blanket to cover her and it's warm even if it's a little scratchy. She curls up next to Alf, with Wolf and Alfric nearby. Sometimes a cat sneaks into the bed, purring and snuggling close. It's cozy even if it's not perfect, and Edith's eyelids are already heavy. Let's picture Edith getting ready for bed. The fire is low, just a soft glow in the room. The air is cool and the house is quiet, except for the sound of Alf's soft snores and the boys' little breaths. Edith folds a cloth and puts it away, then checks the door to make sure it's closed. She brushes her hands together, shaking off the day's dirt. "Time to rest," she whispers to herself. She climbs into bed, the straw crunching under her. She pulls the blanket up to her chin and sighs, a happy, sleepy sigh. The dark wraps around her like a soft blanket, and she feels safe. Edith is not perfect, but that's what makes her so lovable. Sometimes she forgets where she put her basket of eggs and she has to search the whole house. Sometimes she burns the bread because she's busy talking to her chickens. And sometimes she's so tired that she sits down in the middle of the day and falls asleep under a tree. But Edith doesn't worry about being perfect. She just does her best, and that's enough. Her family loves her, her animals need her, and her village is better because she's there. Let's think about Edith's chickens for a moment. She has a favorite one, a fluffy white hen named Snowy. Snowy is a little bossy, always pushing the other chickens out of the way to get the best grain. But Edith thinks she's funny. Every morning, Edith talks to Snowy while she feeds her. "You're a silly girl, aren't you?" she says, and Snowy clucks back like she's answering. Edith laughs, her dove-like laugh, and it makes her feel light and happy, even when she's tired. Edith's days are full of little moments like this. She loves the way the sun feels on her face in the morning. She loves the smell of the fields after it rains, fresh and clean. She loves hearing her boys laugh as they play, or seeing Alf smile when she brings him a bowl of soup. These moments are small, but they fill her heart. They make her tired days feel worth it, and they make her sleepy nights feel even cozier. Let's imagine Edith in the afternoon when the sun is high and the village is busy. She's walking back from the stream, carrying a heavy bucket of water. Her arms are strong, but the bucket is heavy, and she stops to rest for a moment. She sits on a rock, the cool stone feeling nice against her legs. She looks around, seeing her neighbors working in their fields or tending their animals. She waves to a friend, who waves back with a big smile. Edith feels like she belongs here in this village with these people. It's a good feeling, like being wrapped in a warm hug. By the time Edith gets home, she's ready for a break. She sits by the fire, her hands resting in her lap. The boys are playing outside and Alf is still in the fields. The house is quiet and Edith closes her eyes for a moment. She's not asleep, but she's close. Her body is tired and her mind is calm. She thinks about her day, feeding the chickens, working in the fields, carrying water. It's hard work, but it's her work and she's proud of it. She knows that soon the sun will set and she'll be ready for her first sleep. Edith's life is not always easy. Sometimes the crops don't grow well and she worries about having enough food. Sometimes the animals get sick and she has to work extra hard to help them. Sometimes the boys are naughty and she has to be patient even when she's tired. But Edith doesn't let these things make her sad. She knows that life has hard days and good days, and she takes them one at a time. At night, when she curls up in bed, she lets go of the hard things and focuses on the good ones, like her family, her chickens, and the soft dark that helps her rest. Let's picture Edith at night again, because that's when she's happiest. The village is quiet and the stars are out, twinkling like little candles in the sky. Edith is inside, sitting by the fire with her family. The boys are yawning, their eyes half closed. Alf is telling a story about a silly goat that got stuck in a fence, and Edith laughs, her soft, sleepy laugh. The fire crackles, sending little sparks into the air. The room feels warm and safe, like a cocoon. Edith helps the boys get ready for bed. She tucks them in, kissing their foreheads. "Sleep well, my loves," she whispered. Then she and Alf climb into their own bed, the straw crunching softly. Edith lies down, her body sinking into the mattress. She feels the weight of the day lift away, like a heavy coat slipping off her shoulders. The dark is all around her, soft and kind. She knows the first sleep is coming, and it makes her smile. Her eyelids are heavy and her breathing is slow. She's ready to rest. Edith is someone you'd want to know. She's kind, funny, and full of love. She's not perfect. She forgets things, burns the bread, and gets tired just like everyone else. But she's lovable, with her flour-smudged face and her sleepy laugh. She works hard, but she rests well, curling up with her family every night, ready for the first sleep. She's part of her village, part of the fields and the animals, part of the quiet night that holds her close. As we think about Edith, let's take a deep breath. Feel your chest rise and fall, slow and easy. Imagine you're in her village, hearing the soft cluck of her chickens, seeing the glow of her fire. Can you feel how calm it is? Can you feel how cozy it is? Edith is getting ready to sleep, and you're right there with her in a world where the night is gentle and rest is near. Let's stay with Edith a little longer, learning about her life, her family, and the sleepy, happy way she lives. We're just getting started, and there's so much more to discover. The morning starts so softly in Edith's village, like the world is still dreaming. It's early and the air is cool and fresh, like a gentle hug from the sky. The stars are fading and the first light of the sun is just peeking over the hills. Everything is quiet, except for one loud sound that cuts through the stillness. A rooster crowing, bold and proud, telling everyone it's time to wake up. His cry echoes across the village, and in her little house, Edith stirs. She's curled up in her straw bed, warm under a scratchy wool blanket, her family close beside her. The rooster's call pulls her from her cozy sleep, and she blinks her eyes, still heavy with dreams. Edith lies there for a moment, not quite ready to move. The straw mattress crinkles under her and she can feel the warmth of her husband, Alf, next to her. Their two boys, Wolf and Alfric, are still asleep, their soft breaths like little whispers in the dark. The house is quiet and the air inside is cool, with a faint smell of last night's fire and fresh bread Edith baked yesterday. She wants to stay in bed, snuggled in the warm straw where it's safe and soft. But the rooster crows again and Edith knows it's time. She yawns, a big sleepy yawn that makes her whole body stretch. Her arms reach up and her toes wiggle under the blanket. Up we go, she mumbles, her voice thick with sleep. She pats Alf's arm gently and he grumbles, still half asleep. Edith smiles to herself. She'd rather stay in bed too, but the day is calling. Slowly, Edith sits up. The straw crunches as she moves, and the cool afternoon brushes her face. She swings her legs over the side of the bed, her bare feet touching the packed dirt floor. The floor is cold, and it wakes her up a little more. She stands, stretching her arms high, feeling her back loosen. Her long dress swishes around her legs, and she ties a scarf around her head to keep her hair out of her face. The house is still dark, with only a tiny bit of light creeping through the small window. Outside, the world is half asleep, just like Edith. The village is quiet, but it's starting to stir like a big, sleepy animal waking up. Edith steps to the door and opens it, letting in a rush of cool, fresh air. She breathes it in and it smells like grass, dirt, and morning. The sky is beautiful, painted with soft pink and gold like the cheeks of a baby. The colors are gentle and they make Edith feel calm. She steps outside, her bare feet pressing into the packed earth. The ground is cool and smooth and it feels good under her toes. She looks around, seeing the little houses of her village, their straw roofs glowing in the early light. The smoke is starting to curl up from chimneys as other families wake up and light their fires. In the distance, she hears a cow moo and a dog bark, soft and far away. The world is waking, but it's slow and quiet, just the way Edith likes it. Her first job every morning is to feed her chickens. Edith loves her chickens, even when they're naughty. She walks to the small pen where they live, a wooden fence keeping them safe from foxes. The chickens are already awake, clucking and scratching in the dirt. They sound like they're gossiping, chattering to each other about their dreams or who got the best spot to sleep. Edith giggles at the thought. "Good morning, my silly girls," she says, her voice soft and warm. She picks up a small sack of grain, the rough cloth heavy in her hands. She reaches in, grabs a handful of the tiny seeds and tosses them into the pen. The grain scatters on the ground and the chickens go wild, running and flapping their wings to get the best bits. Edith watches them, smiling. Her favorite chicken, Snowy, is right in the middle, pushing the others out of the way. Snowy is a fluffy white hen with a bossy attitude, and Edith thinks she's hilarious. "Oh, Snowy, you're so greedy," Edith says, tossing another handful of grain. Snowy clucks loudly, like she's saying, "I'm the queen." The other chickens, Fluffy, Pecky, and Waddle, cluck and peck, their feathers ruffling in the cool air. Sometimes, Pecky tries to peck Edith's toes, thinking they're food. Edith laughs and wiggles her toes away. "Not my toes, Pecky," she says, shaking her head. It's a silly moment and it makes her heart feel light, even though she's still a little sleepy. Feeding the chickens doesn't take long, but Edith likes to linger. She leans against the fence, watching her chickens eat. The sky is getting brighter now, the pink turning to gold, and the air is warming up. She can hear the village waking up around her. A neighbor calls out a greeting, and Edith waves, her hand moving slowly. She hears the creak of a cart as someone starts their work in the fields. A goat bleats and a child laughs somewhere nearby. It's a gentle hum of sounds, like a lullaby for the morning. Edith loves this time of day when everything is fresh and new, but she's already thinking about sleep. The day has just begun, but sleep isn't far away. She knows that after a long day of work, she'll curl up for her first sleep, cozy and warm. Edith walks back to her house, her feet leaving soft prints in the dirt. She stops to pick up a stick that fell from the roof, tossing it aside so no one trips. She notices a tiny flower growing by the path, its petals bright yellow. "Look at you," she says to the flower, bending down to touch it. She's careful not to pick it because she likes seeing it there. Little things like this make her happy: a flower, a chicken's cluck, the cool morning air. They're small, but they fill her heart. Inside the house, Alf is up now, rubbing his eyes and yawning. The boys are still asleep, curled up like puppies in their blankets. Edith smiles at them, her heart warm. She starts to light the fire, kneeling by the hearth. The fire is low, just a few embers from last night, but Edith knows how to bring it back. She adds some dry sticks, blowing gently until a tiny flame appears. The fire crackles, and soon it's glowing, filling the room with warmth. The smell of burning wood mixes with the cool air, and it feels like home. Edith puts a pot of water over the fire to warm it up. She's going to make a simple breakfast, maybe some porridge made from barley. It's not fancy, but it's warm and filling, and it helps her family start the day strong. While the water heats, she sweeps the floor with a broom made of twigs. The dirt floor gets dusty, and Edith likes to keep it clean. She moves slowly, her broom making soft swishing sounds. She's still waking up and her body feels heavy, but the work is easy and calm. It's part of her morning, like the rooster's crow or the chicken's clucks. Alf comes over, his hair messy from sleep. "Morning," he says, his voice gruff but kind. Edith smiles and hands him a cup of water. "Morning," she says back. They don't talk much, but they don't need to. They're happy just being together, starting the day side by side. Alf steps outside to check on the cows, and Edith keeps working in the house. She can hear him whistling as he walks away, a cheerful tune that makes her smile. The boys are waking up now, their voices soft and sleepy. Wolf sits up first, rubbing his eyes. "Mama, is it morning?" he asks, his voice small. "Yes, my love," Edith says, kneeling down to hug him. Alfric stirs next, stretching his arms and yawning. "I'm hungry," he mumbles, and Edith laughs. "Porridge is coming," she says, ruffling his hair. The boys are her sunshine, even when they're grumpy or muddy. They make her tired days feel worth it, and they make her sleepy nights even cozier. Edith helps the boys get dressed, pulling their tunics over their heads. They wiggle and giggle, making it harder than it needs to be, but Edith doesn't mind. She loves their laughter, like little bells ringing in the house. Once they're dressed, she sits them by the fire, where it's warm. The porridge is almost ready, bubbling in the pot. Edith stirs it with a wooden spoon, the steam rising and warming her face. She adds a pinch of salt, just enough to make it tasty. The smell of the porridge fills the room, and the boys sniff the air, their eyes bright. When the porridge is done, Edith scoops it into wooden bowls. She gives each boy a small portion, blowing on it to cool it down. "Careful, it's hot," she says, handing them spoons. The boys eat eagerly, their spoons clinking against the bowls. Edith eats too, sitting on a stool by the fire. The porridge is warm and soft, filling her belly and making her feel ready for the day. She looks at her boys, their faces smudged with porridge, and she laughs softly. "You're messy," she says, wiping their cheeks with her sleeve. They grin, and it's a perfect moment, quiet and happy. After breakfast, Edith cleans up. She washes the bowls with water from the pot, her hands moving slowly. The fire is still burning, keeping the house warm. The boys run outside to play, their voices carrying through the open door. Edith can hear them chasing each other, laughing and shouting. She steps to the door to watch them, leaning against the frame. Wolf is running after Alfric, pretending to be a wolf, and Alfric is giggling, dodging between the houses. Edith shakes her head, smiling. "Be careful." She calls, but she's not really worried. The village is safe, and the boys are happy. The morning is moving along now, and the village is fully awake. The sky is bright, a clear blue with a few fluffy clouds. The air is warmer, but still fresh, and it carries the smells of grass, smoke, and baking bread from a neighbor's house. Edith takes a deep breath, feeling her body wake up a little more. She's still tired from waking up early, and her eyes are a little heavy, but she's ready for the day. She knows she'll work hard, tending the fields, carrying water, and taking care of her animals. But she also knows that sleep is never far away. Tonight, she'll curl up for her first sleep, cozy in her straw bed, and that thought makes her smile. Edith steps outside again, ready to start her work. She walks to the fields, where Alf is already digging in the dirt. The fields are big and green, full of plants growing strong. Edith kneels down, her hands pulling weeds that might hurt the crops. The dirt is cool and soft, and it feels good between her fingers. She works slowly, her movements calm and steady. The sun is warm on her back, and she can hear birds singing in the trees. It's a peaceful morning, and Edith feels content. As she works, she thinks about her chickens again. She wonders if Snowy is still bossing the others around, or if Pecky is trying to peck someone's toes. The thought makes her giggle, a soft, sleepy sound. Edith loves her animals, her family, and her village. Her life is simple, but it's full of little joys, pink skis, clucking chickens, and the promise of sleep at the end of the day. She yawns again, her body reminding her that she's still waking up. But that's okay. The day is young, and there's plenty of time for everything. Let's picture Edith one more time, standing in the fields. The sun is climbing higher, and the village is alive with soft sounds, people talking, animals moving, carts creaking. Edith's hands are busy, but her mind is calm. She's thinking about her boys, her chickens, and the warm porridge she ate. She's thinking about the night to come, when she'll rest in her cozy bed. The morning is slow, it's quiet, and it's enough. The day has begun, but sleep isn't far away, and that makes everything feel just right. As we think about Edith, let's take a deep breath. Feel your chest rise and fall, slow and easy. Imagine you're in her village, hearing the rooster crow, seeing the pink sky. Can you feel the cool dirt under your feet? Can you hear the chickens clucking? The morning is gentle, and so is this story. We're with Edith, starting the day knowing that rest is always close. Let's stay here a little longer in this quiet, sleepy world and see what happens next. The morning has passed in Edith's village, and now the sun is climbing high in the sky. It's warm and bright, casting soft shadows on the fields and houses. The air smells like fresh dirt, green grass, and a hint of smoke from the fires burning in the village. Edith is busy, moving through her chores like a river flowing smooth and steady. She doesn't rush or hurry. She takes her time, doing one small task after another, and each one feels important in its own way. Her day is full of these little jobs, and together they make her life whole. Let's walk with Edith through her afternoon, watching her work, feeling the calm rhythm of her hands, and seeing how her tiredness grows as she dreams of sleep. Edith is in the barley field now, kneeling in the soft dirt. The field is big, stretching out like a green blanket under the blue sky. The barley plants are tall, their thin stalks swaying in the gentle breeze. Edith's job is to pull weeds, those pesky plants that try to steal water and sunlight from the barley. She leans forward, her fingers brushing the cool soil, feeling its softness. She finds a weed, its roots deep in the ground, and she pulls it gently, making sure not to hurt the barley. The weed comes out with a little tug, and Edith sets it aside in a pile. "There you go," she whispers to the barley like it can hear her. She smiles, her round face smudged with dirt, and moves to the next weed. This task is small, but it's important. If the weeds grow too much, the barley won't be strong, and Edith's family needs the barley to make bread and porridge. Her hands move slowly, carefully, pulling one weed at a time. The sun is warm on her back, and she can feel a little sweat on her forehead. She wipes it away with her sleeve and keeps working. The dirt feels good under her fingers, cool and a little damp, like a friend she knows well. She hums a tune, soft and wandering, not a real song, but just a sound that comes from her heart. M, she hums, her voice low and sleepy. The rhythm of her hands and her humming makes her feel calm, like she's part of the field, part of the earth. Edith works for a long time in the field, moving from one row to the next. Her knees get a little sore from kneeling, and her shoulders start to ache from bending over. She stands up to stretch, her arms reaching high toward the sky. She yawns, a big sleepy yawn, and looks around. The village is busy but quiet, with neighbors working in their own fields or tending animals. She sees her friend Hilda in the distance, carrying a basket of vegetables, and waves. Hilda waves back, her smile bright. Edith feels happy knowing she's not alone. Everyone in the village works together, and it makes the day feel lighter. After a while, Edith's pile of weeds is big, and her hands are covered in dirt. She brushes them on her dress, leaving brown smudges, and stands up. "That's enough for now," she says to herself. She picks up her pile of weeds and carries them to the edge of the field, where they'll dry out in the sun. Her steps are slow and her body feels heavy, but she's proud of her work. The barley looks happy, standing tall and green, and Edith knows she's helping her family. She takes a deep breath, smelling the fresh air, and moves on to her next task. Edith's next job is to carry water from the stream. The stream is a little walk from the village, down a path lined with grass and wildflowers. Edith picks up a wooden bucket, its handle smooth from years of use. The bucket is heavy even when it's empty, and Edith swings it gently as she walks. The path is quiet, and she can hear birds singing in the trees. Their chirps are soft and cheerful, like they're telling her it's a good day. Edith smiles and hums her tune again, mmm, letting the sound mix with the birds. When she reaches the stream, the water sparkles in the sunlight, clear and cool. It bubbles over smooth rocks, making a gentle gurgling sound. Edith kneels by the edge, her dress brushing the grass. She dips the bucket into the water, watching it fill up. The water is cold and a few drops splash on her hands, making her giggle. "Oh, that's chilly," she says, shaking her hands. The bucket is heavy now, full of water, but Edith is strong. Now she lifts it carefully, holding the handle tight, and starts walking back to the village. Her steps are steady and the water sloshes a little, but she doesn't spill. The walk back is harder because the bucket is so heavy. Edith's arms ache and her shoulders feel tight. She stops once to rest, setting the bucket down on the path. She sits on a rock, catching her breath, and looks at the sky. A few clouds float by, white and fluffy, like sheep in the air. Edith likes watching them, letting her mind wander. She's tired and her eyes droop a little, but she knows she has more to do. She picks up the bucket again, her hands gripping the handle, and keeps walking. Her humming starts again, soft and slow, keeping her company. When Edith gets back to the village, she pours the water into a big clay pot by her house. The water will be used for cooking, washing, and giving to the animals. She feels proud, knowing this water will help her family, but her arms are sore and her back is tired. She stretches again, rolling her shoulders, and yawns. The sun is high now, and it's the middle of the afternoon. Edith's body is telling her she's worked hard and her eyes are getting sleepy. She knows the first sleep will come tonight, and that thought makes her feel cozy, even in the bright day. Edith's next task is to check on her chickens. She loves her chickens, and they always make her smile even when she's tired. She walks to their pen, her feet slow on the dirt path. The chickens are clucking and scratching, happy in the warm sun. Edith leans over the fence, watching them. Her favorite, Snowy, is strutting around, her white feathers fluffed up like she's the queen. "Oh, Snowy, you're so fancy," Edith says, giggling. Snowy clucks back like she's agreeing. The other chickens, Fluffy, Pecky, and Waddle, are pecking at the ground, looking for bits of grain Edith gave them earlier. Edith checks the pen to make sure it's safe. Sometimes foxes try to get in at night, so she looks for holes or loose wood. Everything looks good today, but she finds a few eggs in the straw. "Good girls," she says, picking up the eggs carefully. She tucks them into her apron, feeling their smooth shell. The eggs are warm and they make her think of breakfast tomorrow. She hums her tune again, mmm, as she walks back to the house to put the eggs in a basket. Her steps are slow and her shoulders ache, but her heart is warm. Back at the house, Edith sees her boys, Wolf and Alfric, playing outside. They're running around, chasing each other and laughing. Wolf is pretending to be a horse, galloping in circles, and Alfric is giggling, trying to catch him. Edith watches them, her face soft with love. "Be careful, my loves," she calls, but she's not really worried. The boys are happy and the village is safe. She sits on a stool by the door, resting for a moment. Her eyes droop and she yawns again, her hand covering her mouth. The afternoon is warm and her body is tired. She can feel sleep calling, even though it's still day. Edith's husband, Alf, comes back from the fields, his face sweaty and his hands dirty. "Good day," he asks, sitting next to her. Edith nods, her smile sleepy. "Good day," she says. They don't talk much, but they don't need to. They're happy just sitting together, watching the boys play. The village is alive with soft sounds, people talking, animals moving, a cart creaking nearby. Edith listens, her humming quiet now. The rhythm of the day, the rhythm of her tasks, makes her feel calm and sleepy. Edith has one more task before she can rest for a bit. She needs to milk the cow. The cow, named Daisy, lives in a small shed near the house. Edith walks there, her feet dragging a little. She's tired and her shoulders are sore, but she loves Daisy. The cow is big and gentle, with soft brown eyes and a slow, steady way of moving. Edith pats Daisy's side, saying, "Hello, my girl." Daisy moves softly, like she's saying hello back. Edith sits on a small stool, placing a wooden bucket under Daisy. She starts milking, her hands moving in a steady rhythm, pulling gently on the cow's udder. The milk splashes into the bucket, a soft, plinking sound. Edith hums as she works, her tune mixing with the sound of the milk. The shed is warm and the air smells like hay and animals. Edith's hands are tired, but the milking is easy and it feels good to do something calm. When the bucket is full, she pats Daisy again, saying, "Thank you, Daisy." She carries the bucket back to the house, her steps slow and careful so she doesn't spill. By now, the afternoon is turning to evening. The sun is lower and the air is cooler. Edith's body is heavy and her eyes are droopy. She sets the milk bucket in a cool corner of the house and sits down again. Her shoulders ache and her hands are sore from all her tasks, pulling weeds, carrying water, collecting eggs, milking Daisy. Each task was small, but together they've filled her day. She yawns, her head leaning back, and hums her tune one more time. MMM. The sound is so soft, it's almost like a whisper. Edith looks at the sky, now turning pink and orange. The village is slowing down just like her. People are finishing their work, heading home to eat and rest. Edith knows that soon she'll eat a warm meal with her family, sit by the fire, and get ready for bed. The thought of her first sleep makes her smile. In her village, people sleep twice every night, a first sleep, then a wakeful time, then a second sleep. It's called biphasic sleep, and it's like getting 2 cozy naps. Edith loves it because it means she gets to rest deeply, even after a long day. Let's picture Edith sitting there, her hands resting in her lap. The village is quiet, with only a few sounds: a dog barking, a goat bleating, the wind rustling the trees. Edith's boys are still playing, their laughter soft in the distance. Alf is inside, washing his hands. The air is cool now, and Edith pulls her scarf tighter around her shoulders. She's tired, so tired, but it's a good tired, the kind that comes from a day well spent. Her eyes close for a moment, and she can almost feel her straw bed, the crinkle of the mattress, the warmth of her blanket. Edith's chores are like a dance, slow and steady, one step at a time. Pulling weeds, carrying water, feeding chickens, milking cows. Each task is small, but they add up to a full, happy day. Her hands move with a rhythm like a lullaby, and it makes her sleepy. The sun is setting and the world is getting ready for night. Edith knows that soon she'll curl up with her family, close her eyes, and sink into her first sleep. The thought is cozy, like a warm hug, and it carries her through the last moments of her day. As we think about Edith, let's take a deep breath. Feel your chest rise and fall, slow and easy. Imagine you're in her village, smelling the fresh dirt, hearing the soft clucks of her chickens. Can you feel the warm sun, the cool breeze? Can you hear Edith's humming, soft and wandering? Her day is full of tiny tasks and they're leading her to sleep. We're with Edith, moving through her chores, feeling the rhythm of her work, knowing that rest is coming. Let's stay here a little longer in this calm, sleepy world and let the story carry us forward. The sun is starting to dip in Edith's village, painting the sky with soft colors, pink, orange, and a little bit of purple. The air is cooler now, and the world feels quieter, like it's getting ready for night. Edith has been working all day, doing one small task after another, and her body is tired. All that work bending to pull weeds, lifting heavy buckets of water, walking to the fields and back, wears her down in the best way. Her muscles feel warm and heavy, like they're humming a soft song of effort. Her mind, usually full of thoughts about her chores or her family, is quiet now. There's no room for worry when your body is this tired. Let's sit with Edith as she rests, feeling her tiredness and seeing how close sleep is, like an old friend waiting to hug her. Edith is sitting on a wooden stool outside her house, her hands resting in her lap. The stool is old and wobbly, but it's her favorite spot to rest after a long day. The ground beneath her is packed dirt, cool and smooth under her bare feet. She wiggles her toes, feeling the earth, and takes a deep breath. The air smells like grass, smoke from the village fires, and a little bit of the barley fields nearby. Her shoulders ache from carrying water, and her back is sore from bending in the fields. Her hands, strong but tired, have dirt under the nails from pulling weeds. Every part of her body feels heavy, like it's ready to sink into the ground and rest. Edith looks at the sky, watching the sun dip lower. The colors are so pretty, like a blanket of light wrapping the world. She loves this time of day when the work is mostly done and the village starts to slow down. Her breath slows too, coming in and out like gentle waves. She sighs, a cozy, contented sound, like a cat purring by a fire. Her body is tired, but it's a good tired, the kind that comes from a day full of hard work. She knows sleep isn't far now, and that makes her feel warm inside, like she's already wrapped in her blanket. Let's think about all the work Edith did today. In the morning, she fed her chickens, tossing grain and laughing as they clucked and pecked. She walked to the barley field, kneeling in the dirt to pull weeds, her fingers brushing the cool soil. She carried a heavy bucket of water from the stream, her arms strong but aching. She collected eggs, milked the cow, and swept the floor of her house. Each task was small, but they added up, filling her day with movement. All that bending, lifting, and walking made her muscles work hard, and now they're ready to rest. Her legs feel like they want to curl up, and her arms feel like they could melt into her sides. Edith leans back a little, her stool creaking softly. She closes her eyes for a moment, letting the tiredness wash over her. It's not a bad feeling, it's like her body is saying, "You did enough today, now rest." Her muscles hum with effort, a quiet buzz that makes her feel alive but ready to be still. Her shoulders, sore from lifting, relax as she sits. Her hands, rough from work, lie open in her lap, like they're letting go of the day. Even her feet, tired from walking, feel heavy and calm, pressed against the cool dirt. The village around her is settling down. She can hear soft sounds, a neighbor calling to their children, a goat bleating in the distance, the rustle of leaves in the breeze. The sounds are gentle, like a lullaby, and they make Edith's mind even quieter. During the day, she thinks about her chores, her family, and what needs to be done. But now, with her body so tired, her mind doesn't want to think. It's like a pond with no ripples, smooth and still. There's no room for worry about tomorrow's work or the crops in the field. All she feels is the weight of her body, the cool air on her face, and the promise of sleep. Edith opens her eyes and looks at the sun again. It's almost touching the hills now, and the sky is glowing with warm colors. She loves how the light softens everything, making the village look cozy and safe. Her boys, Wolf and Alfric, are playing nearby, their voices soft and happy. They're chasing each other, laughing as they run through the grass. Edith smiles, her heart warm. Her husband, Alf, is inside the house, probably washing his hands after working in the fields. Knowing her family is close makes Edith feel even more relaxed, like she's wrapped in love. She shifts on her stool, feeling a little ache in her back. All that bending in the fields today was hard work. She thinks about how she knelt in the dirt, pulling weeds one by one. Each weed took effort, her hands tugging, her back bending, her knees pressing into the ground. It was slow work, but it felt good to help the barley grow. Now her back is tired and her knees are a little sore, but it's okay. The tiredness means she did something important, and it's leading her to sleep. Edith's arms are tired too from carrying the water bucket. The stream is a long walk, and the bucket was so heavy, sloshing with cold water. She remembers how her arms shook a little as she carried it back, her steps slow and careful. Her shoulders ached, and she had to stop to rest, but she made it. The water is in the house now, ready for cooking and washing, and Edith is proud. But her arms feel like they want to rest forever, heavy and loose by her sides. As she lifts one hand, looking at the dirt on her fingers, and smiles. "Good work," she whispers to herself. Her legs are tired from all the walking she did today. She walked to the stream, to the fields, to the chicken pen, and back to the house over and over. The dirt paths are soft under her feet, but they're long and her legs worked hard. Now they feel like they want to curl up under her, like a puppy settling down. Edith wiggles her toes again, feeling the cool dirt, and sighs. Her whole body is tired, from her toes to her shoulders, and it feels good, like she's earned her rest. Let's picture Edith sitting there, the sun dipping lower. The sky is a mix of colors now, like a soft painting. The air is cool, and Edith pulls her scarf tighter, wakal her shoulders. Her breath is slow in and out, like a gentle breeze. She can feel her heart beating, steady and calm. Her mind is quiet, with no big thoughts, just little ones, like how pretty the sky is, how happy her boys sound, how cozy her bed will feel. Sleep isn't far now. It's waiting for her, like an old friend who knows her well. Edith thinks about her bed for a moment. It's not a fancy bed, just a mattress stuffed with straw, covered with a rough wool blanket. The straw crinkles when she lies down, and the blanket is a little scratchy, but it's warm and safe. She imagines curling up there tonight, next to Alf, with Wolf and Alfric close by. In her village, people sleep twice every night, a first sleep, then a wakeful time, then a second sleep. It's called biphasic sleep, and Edith loves it. It's like getting 2 cozy naps, 2 chances to rest deeply. The thought of her first sleep makes her smile, her eyes drooping even more. Her tiredness is like a warm blanket wrapping around her. All the work she did today, bending, lifting, walking, has made her body ready to rest. Her muscles are humming, not with pain, but with the good kind of tiredness that comes from doing what you're meant to do. Her mind, so quiet now, feels like it's floating, like a leaf on a calm stream. There's no worry, no hurry, just the soft feeling of being tired and ready for sleep. Edith listens to the village again. The sounds are softer now as the day turns to evening. A bird chirps far away in a tree. A cow moos low and gentle. The wind rustles the grass like a whisper. These sounds are like a lullaby, making Edith's eyes heavier. She yawns, her hand covering her mouth, and leans forward, her elbows on her knees. Her body wants to rest, and she's happy to let it. The sun is almost gone now, just a sliver of light above the hills. The sky is turning dark, and the first stars are peeking out, tiny and bright. Edith thinks about her day again, all the little tasks that filled it. She fed her chickens, laughing as they pecked and clucked. She pulled weeds, her hands in the dirt, helping the barley grow. She carried water, her arms strong but tired. She milked Daisy, the cow, and collected eggs from the chicken pen. Each task was small, but they made her day full and good. And now her body is telling her it's done enough. Her muscles are tired, her eyes are droopy, and her mind is still. It's the best kind of tired, the kind that leads to deep, cozy sleep. She sighs again, that cozy, contented sound, like a soft breeze. Her breath is slow and her heart is calm. She can feel sleep getting closer, like a friend walking toward her with open arms. In her village, the night is special because of biphasic sleep. Edith will sleep tonight, wake up for a little while, and then sleep again. It's like having two chances to feel cozy and rested, and it makes her happy. Her body is ready for that first sleep, and her mind is ready too. There's nothing to worry about, nothing to do but rest. Edith looks at her boys again, still playing in the fading light. They're slower now, their laughter quieter, like they're getting tired too. She calls to them, her voice soft, "Come inside soon, my loves." They nod, their faces happy and flushed from running. Edith knows they'll be curled up with her tonight, their little bodies warm and close. Alf steps outside, his face clean now, and sits next to her. "Long day," he says, his voice low. Edith nods, her smile sleepy. "Good day," she says. They sit together, watching the sky darken, feeling the calm of the evening. The village is almost quiet now. The sounds of work have faded, and the air is filled with softer noises, the creak of a door, the rustle of leaves, the distant cluck of a chicken. Edith's body feels heavier, like it's sinking into the stool. Her shoulders, so sore from lifting, are relaxed now. Her hands, dirty from the fields, are still in her lap. Her feet, tired from walking, are cool against the dirt. Every part of her is ready to rest, ready to let go of the day. Let's picture Edith one more time, sitting on her stool. The sky is dark now, with stars twinkling like little lights. The air is cool, and Edith's breath makes tiny clouds in front of her. Her eyes are half closed, and her face is soft with tiredness. She's thinking about her bed, her family, and the sleep that's coming. Her body is tired, her muscles humming, her mind quiet. Sleep is so close, like an old friend standing nearby, ready to take her hand. As we think about Edith, let's take a deep breath. Feel your chest rise and fall, slow and easy. Imagine you're in her village, sitting with her, feeling the cool air, seeing the stars. Can you feel the tiredness in your body, the calm in your mind? Can you hear the soft sounds of the night? Edith's work has worn her down in the best way, and sleep is waiting. We're with Edith, feeling her tiredness, knowing that rest is near. Let's stay here a little longer in this quiet, sleepy world and let the story carry us to rest. The day is done in Edith's village and the night has settled in like a soft, dark blanket. The stars are twinkling outside and the air is cool and quiet. Edith is tired from her long day of work, pulling weeds, carrying water, and feeding her chickens. Her body is heavy and her eyes are droopy, ready for rest. She's inside her little house now, getting ready for bed. Edith's bed is not fancy, not like the soft, fluffy beds we have today. It's a straw mattress, lumpy but soft enough, stuffed into a simple wooden frame. A rough wool blanket lies on top, ready to keep her warm. When Edith lies down, the straw smells like summer fields and crinkles under her weight. It's not a cloud, but it's hers, and that's what matters. She pulls the blanket up to her chin and the world feels small and safe. The bed holds her, imperfections and all. Let's stay with Edith as she settles into her bed, feeling its cozy comfort and getting ready for her first sleep. Edith's house is small, made of wood and straw, with a roof that keeps out the rain. Inside, it's warm and quiet, with a soft glow from the fire that's burning low. The air smells like wood smoke, baked bread, and a little bit of hay from the animals outside. The floor is packed dirt, smooth and cool under Edith's bare feet. She's standing by the fire, her hands resting on her hips, looking around her home. Her husband, Alf, is already sitting by the hearth, his face tired but happy. Their two boys, Wolf and Alfric, are yawning, their eyes half closed. It's bedtime and everyone is ready to rest. Edith walks to the bed, which sits in the corner of the room. The bed is simple, just a wooden frame that Alf made with his own hands. The frame is sturdy, with 4 legs that hold it up off the floor. Inside the frame is the mattress, a big cloth bag stuffed full of straw. The straw is dried grass, the kind you see in fields after summer. It's not soft like a pillow, but it's soft enough, and it molds to Edith's body when she lies down. The mattress is lumpy in some places, with little bumps where the straw has bunched up. Sometimes a piece of straw pokes through the cloth, tickling her skin, but Edith doesn't mind. It's her bed, and it's been her bed for years. She touches the mattress, her fingers brushing the rough cloth. It feels familiar, like an old friend. The straw inside smells clean and sweet, like the fields in summer when the sun is warm and the grass is tall. Edith loves that smell. It reminds her of long days working outside, of the earth that gives her family food. She presses her hand down and the straw crinkles, a soft, rustling sound like leaves in the wind. It's not a loud noise, but it's comforting, like the bed is saying, "I'm here for you." Edith smiles, her round face glowing in the firelight. Her bed isn't perfect, but it works, and that's enough. On top of the mattress is a wool blanket, thick and heavy. The blanket is rough, not smooth like the blankets we have today. It's made from the wool of sheep, spun into thread and woven by hand. The wool is warm, but it's a little scratchy, and sometimes it tickles Edith's chin. She doesn't care though. The blanket keeps her warm on cold nights, and that's what matters. It's a dark brown color, faded from years of use, with a few loose threads at the edges. Edith smooths it with her hand, making sure it's ready for her to climb in. The blanket feels heavy, like a hug, and it makes her feel safe. Edith starts her bedtime routine, moving slowly because she's so tired. She walks to the fire and adds a few more sticks, making sure it will stay warm through the night. The fire crackles, sending little sparks into the air, and the glow lights up her face. She yawns, her eyes droopy, and stretches her arms. Her shoulders are sore from carrying water, and her legs are tired from walking. Her body is ready to rest, and the bed is calling her. As she checks the door, making sure it's closed tight to keep out the cold. The wooden latch clicks into place, and Edith nods to herself. "All safe," she whispers. She turns to her boys, who are sitting on the floor, their heads nodding with sleep. "Time for bed, my loves," she says, her voice soft like a lullaby. Wolf and Alfric grumble a little, but they're too tired to argue. Edith helps them stand, guiding them to their sleeping spot near the bed. The boys don't have a mattress like Edith and Alf. They sleep on mats made of woven reeds covered with a thin blanket. The mats are hard, but the boys don't mind. They're used to it, and they're so sleepy they could rest anywhere. Edith tucks them in, pulling their blanket up to their chins. "Sleep well," she says, kissing their foreheads. The boys smile, their eyes closing, and soon they're breathing softly, already dreaming. Edith looks at Alf, who's watching her with a tired smile. "Ready?" he asks, standing up. Edith nods, her eyelids heavy. They walk to the bed together, their steps slow and quiet. The house is calm now, with only the sound of the fire popping and the boys' soft breaths. Edith lifts the blanket, and the straw crinkles as she climbs into bed. The mattress shifts under her weight, the lumps pressing against her back. It's not soft like a cloud, but it's hers, and it holds her just right. As she scoots over to make room for Alf, who climbs in beside her. The bed creaks a little, but it's a familiar sound, one Edith loves. She lies down, her head resting on the mattress. There's no pillow, just the straw, but Edith doesn't need one. She turns on her side, curling her legs up, and pulls the wool blanket to her chin. The blanket is heavy and warm, and it makes her feel like she's in a cozy nest. The straw crinkles again as she settles, and the smell of summer fields fills her nose. It's a clean, earthy smell, and it makes her think of sunny days and green grass. Her body sinks into the mattress, the lumps molding to her shape. It's not perfect, but it's enough, and Edith feels safe. The room is dark now, except for the soft glow of the fire. The light dances on the walls, making shadows that move like gentle waves. Edith's eyes are heavy, and she blinks slowly, watching the shadows. Her breath is slow in and out like a soft breeze. She can feel Alf's warmth beside her, his arm resting close. The boys are nearby, their breath steady and calm. The house feels small and safe, like a little world just for them. Edith's bed holds her, imperfections and all, and she's ready for her first sleep. In Edith's village, people sleep twice every night. They have a first sleep, where they rest for a few hours, then wake up for a little while, and then have a second sleep until morning. It's called biphasic sleep, and it's like getting two cozy naps. Edith loves this because it means she gets to rest deeply, even after a long day. Her bed, with its lumpy straw and scratchy blanket, is where she goes for that first sleep. It's not fancy, but it's hers, and it helps her body relax. Edith thinks about her bed as she lies there. It's not like the beds in big towns, where rich people might have feathers or soft wool. Her bed is simple, made from things her family has: straw from the fields, wood from the forest, wool from their sheep. But simple is okay. The straw is soft enough to cradle her tired body, and the blanket is warm enough to keep out the cold. The lumps in the mattress might bother someone else, but Edith knows them like friends. There's a big lump near her feet, a small one by her shoulder, and they fit her just right. She shifts a little, the straw crinkling again. A piece of straw pokes her arm and she giggles softly, brushing it away. "Silly bed," she whispers. The sound of her voice is quiet, blending with the fire's crackle. Alf snores softly beside her and Edith smiles. His snores are loud sometimes, but tonight they're gentle, like a low hum. The boys are quiet, their breaths like tiny waves. Edith feels close to her family, even in the dark, and it makes her bed feel even cozier. The blanket is heavy on her chest, and Edith pulls it higher, tucking it under her chin. It's scratchy against her skin, but she likes the feeling. It's like the blanket is hugging her, telling her it's okay to rest. Her body is tired from the day's work, her shoulders sore, her legs heavy, her hands rough. But the bed holds all of that, letting her sink into its lumps and crinkles. Her muscles relax and her breath slows even more. The world outside the house feels far away, like it doesn't matter. All that matters is this bed, this moment, this quiet. Edith's eyes close and she lets her mind wander. She thinks about the straw in her mattress, how it came from the fields where she works. She thinks about the blanket, how it was made from the wool of her sheep, the ones she sees grazing in the pasture. Her bed is part of her life, part of the village, part of the earth. It's not perfect, but it's hers, and it makes her feel connected to everything she loves. The straw smells like summer, and it carries her thoughts to warm days and green fields. Her mind is quiet now, ready to rest, just like her body. The fire is low, almost out, but it's still warm in the house. Edith can feel the heat on her face, soft and gentle. The shadows on the walls are fainter now, moving slowly as the fire dies down. The house is so quiet, with only the sound of Alf's snores, the boys' breaths, and the occasional pop of the fire. Edith listens, her ears catching every little noise. It's like a lullaby, rocking her closer to sleep. Her bed crinkles as she shifts again, finding the perfect spot. The lumps press against her back, but they feel good, like they're holding her up. Edith thinks about biphasic sleep again, how it's part of her night. Soon she'll fall into her first sleep, resting deeply for a few hours. Then she'll wake up, maybe talk to Alf or just lie there listening to the quiet. After that, she'll have her second sleep, cozy and warm until morning. The thought makes her happy because it's like getting two chances to feel this safe, this comfortable. Her bed with its straw and wool is where it all happens. It's not a cloud, but it's hers, and it works. She pulls the blanket tighter, feeling its weight. The wool is rough, but it's warm and it keeps the cool night air away. Edith's toes wiggle under the blanket, finding a warm spot. Her legs are curled up and her arms are tucked close to her body. She's like a little bird in a nest, safe and snug. The straw crinkles one more time as she settles, and then she's still. Her breath is slow, her heart is calm, and her eyes are closed. The bed holds her, imperfections and all, and she's ready to rest. Let's picture Edith in her bed, the straw mattress under her, the wool blanket over her. The house is dark, with just a tiny glow from the fire. The air is warm and smells like summer fields. Alf is beside her, snoring softly, and the boys are close, breathing quietly. The world feels small and safe, like nothing can bother her. Edith's bed is lumpy, but it's soft enough. It's scratchy, but it's warm. It's not perfect, but it's hers, and it's where she finds peace. As we think about Edith, let's take a deep breath. Feel your chest rise and fall, slow and easy. Imagine you're in her house, smelling the straw, feeling the warmth of the blanket. Can you hear the fire's soft crackle? Can you feel the cozy bed holding you? Edith is ready for her first sleep, and her bed is helping her rest. We're with Edith in her simple, safe world, knowing that sleep is close. Let's stay here a little longer in this quiet, sleepy place and let the story carry us to rest. The night is deep and quiet in Edith's village, like a soft blanket covering everything. The stars are shining outside and the air is cool and still. Inside Edith's little house, it's warm and cozy, with the fire burning low, casting a soft glow on the walls. Edith is in her bed, a lumpy straw mattress with a rough wool blanket pulled up to her chin. The straw crinkles as she settles, and she's ready for her first sleep. But Edith, not alone. Her husband, Alf, is beside her, snoring softly. Their two children, little Wolf and Alfric, are curled up nearby, their breaths like tiny waves. Sometimes a cat sneaks in, purring against her feet. The closeness is warm, like a hearth fire, and it makes Edith feel safe. Even the chickens cluck faintly outside, adding to the quiet sounds of the night. Everyone's together, and that makes the night feel whole. Let's stay with Edith, feeling the warmth of her family and the comfort of being close as she drifts towards sleep. Edith's house is small, made of wood and straw, with a roof that keeps out the cold. The room is dark, except for the fire's soft light, which dances on the walls like a gentle dream. The air smells like wood smoke, warm bread, and a little bit of hay from the animals outside. Edith lies in her bed, her body tired from a long day of work. Her shoulders are sore, her legs are heavy, and her eyes are droopy. But she's not alone, and that makes her heart feel full. Her family is all around her, close and warm, and it's the best feeling in the world. Next to Edith is Alf, her husband. He's a big man with strong hands and a kind heart. He worked hard in the fields today, digging and planting, and now he's fast asleep. His snores are soft, like a low hum, not loud enough to wake anyone but just enough to make Edith smile. "Oh, Alf," she whispers, her voice quiet so she doesn't disturb him. His snores are part of the night, like the sound of the wind or the fire's crackle. Edith can feel his warmth beside her, his arm resting close to hers. It's comforting, like knowing someone you love is right there, even in the dark. Alf's breathing is steady, in and out, like a slow song. Edith listens to it, her own breath slowing to match his. She thinks about how Alf is always there, working with her, laughing with her, and sleeping beside her. They've been together for years, through good days and hard days, and having him close makes the night feel safe. The bed crinkles as Alf shifts a little, his snores pausing for a moment before starting again. Edith giggles softly, her eyes half closed. She loves him, snores and all, and his presence makes her bed feel like home. Nearby, little Wolf and Alfric are sleeping on their reed mats just a few steps from the bed. The boys are small, with messy hair and cheeks that get rosy when they run. They're curled up under a thin blanket, their bodies tucked close to each other like puppies in a pile. Wolf is 5, always full of energy, chasing chickens or pretending to be a wolf. Alfric is 3, quieter but full of giggles, always drawing in the dirt with a stick. During the day, they keep Edith busy, but at night, they're her little angels, sleeping so peacefully. Edith can hear their breaths, soft and light, like tiny waves lapping at a shore. Wolf's breaths are a bit louder, with a little whistle at the end, and Alfric are so quiet you have to listen hard. She loves those sounds because they tell her her boys are safe and resting. She thinks about how they played today, running through the village, laughing and shouting. Now they're still, their faces soft in sleep. Edith's heart feels warm, like it's glowing, knowing her children are so close. She can almost see them in the dark, their blankets pulled up, their hands tucked under their cheeks. Sometimes Wolf mumbles in his sleep, saying funny things like chickens or run fast. Edith listens, smiling, because it reminds her of his big imagination. Alfric is quieter, but once in a while he giggles like he's dreaming of something happy. Edith wonders what they dream about, maybe fields or animals or the stories Alf tells them about silly goats. Having them nearby makes the night feel whole, like all the pieces of her life are together in one cozy place. Then there's the cat, a sneaky little creature with soft gray fur and big green eyes. Edith calls her Pippin because she's always pipping around, getting into mischief. Pippin isn't supposed to sleep inside, but sometimes she sneaks in when the door is open. Tonight, Edith feels a soft weight at her feet and she knows it's Pippin. The cat curls up, her body warm against Edith's toes, and starts to purr. The purring is low and rumbly, like a tiny engine, and it makes Edith's feet tingle. "Oh, Pippin," she whispers, wiggling her toes under the blanket. The cat doesn't move, just keeps purring, happy to be close. Pippin's purring is another sound in the night, mixing with Alf's snores and the boys' breaths. It's like a song, soft and gentle, that helps Edith relax. She thinks about how Pippin loves to chase mice in the barn or nap in the sun during the day. At night, though, she wants to be near Edith, and that makes Edith feel special. The cat's warmth is cozy, like a little fire at the end of the bed, and it adds to the closeness of the night. Outside, Edith can hear her chickens clucking faintly in their pen. They're not loud, just soft murmurs, like they're talking in their sleep. Edith loves her chickens, snowy, fluffy, pecky, and waddle, and their clucks are part of her life. During the day, they make her laugh with their silly antics, but at night, their sounds are calming, like a whisper from the village. The chickens are safe in their pen, protected from foxes, and Edith knows they're resting, just like she is. Their clucks make her feel like everyone is together, even the animals, and it makes the night feel whole. The closeness of her family and animals is like a hearth fire, warm and glowing. Edith's house is small, so everyone sleeps close together. The bed she shares with Alf is in the middle of the room, and the boys' mats are just a few steps away. Pippin, when she sneaks in, stays at the foot of the bed. The chickens are outside, but their soft clucks carry through the walls. It's crowded, but not in a bad way. It's cozy, like being wrapped in a big hug. Edith loves having everyone near because it makes her feel safe and loved. Let's picture Edith lying in her bed, the straw crinkling under her. The wool blanket is heavy, pulled up to her chin, keeping her warm. Alf is beside her, his snores soft and steady. Wolf and Alfric are on their mats, their breaths like tiny waves. Pippin is at her feet, purring quietly. Outside, the chickens cluck faintly, adding to the night's song. The fire is low, its glow soft on the walls. The air smells like straw, smoke, and home. Edith's eyes are heavy, and her heart is full. The closeness is warm, like a fire that never goes out. Edith thinks about how different her nights are from ours. In her village, people sleep close together, sharing warmth and space. They don't have big houses with lots of rooms. They don't have soft beds or fluffy pillows. But they have each other, and that's better than anything. Edith's bed is lumpy and the blanket is scratchy, but with Alf, the boys, and even Pippin nearby, it's the coziest place in the world. The night feels whole because everyone is together, and that helps Edith rest. In her village, people sleep twice every night, something called biphasic sleep. They have a first sleep, where they rest for a few hours, then wake up for a little while and then have a second sleep until morning. Edith loves this because it's like getting two chances to feel cozy and safe. Tonight, she's ready for her first sleep, surrounded by her family. The closeness of Alf, Wolf, Alfric, and even Pippin makes her bed feel like the best place to be. The chickens' clucks outside remind her that the village is resting, too, all together under the stars. Edith listens to the sounds around her. Alf's snores are like a low hum, steady and familiar. Wolf's breaths have that little whistle, and Alfric are so soft, like a whisper. Pippin's purring is warm and rumbly, vibrating against her feet. The chickens' clucks are faint, like a lullaby from far away. The fire pops now and then, sending a tiny spark into the air. The wind outside rustles the straw roof, soft and gentle. All these sounds mix together, like a song that helps Edith relax. Her body is tired, her mind is quiet, and her heart is happy. She shifts in bed, the straw crinkling again. The mattress is lumpy, but it holds her just right. She can feel Alf's arm next to hers, warm and strong. The boys are close, their blankets rustling as they dream. Pippin moves a little, her purring getting louder for a moment before settling down. Edith smiles, her eyes closed. The closeness is like a warm fire, keeping the cold night away. She thinks about how lucky she is to have her family, her animals, and her little house. It's not fancy, but it's full of love, and that's what makes the night feel whole. Edith's breath slows in and out like a gentle breeze. She can feel sleep coming like a soft wave washing over her. Her bed, with its straw and wool, is cozy because of who's there with her. Alf snores, the boys' breaths, Pippin's purring, and the chickens' clucks. All these things make her feel like she's not alone. The night is dark, but it's not scary. It's warm and safe because everyone's together. Edith's heart feels full, like it's glowing, and she's ready for her first sleep. Let's stay with Edith a little longer in her cozy bed. Picture her lying there, the blanket heavy and warm. Alf is snoring, the boys are breathing, Pippin is purring, and the chickens are clucking outside. The fire's glow is soft, and the air smells like home. The night is quiet, and the closeness is like a hearth fire, warm and comforting. Edith is ready to rest, surrounded by love. Her bed holds her, her family holds her, and the night holds them all. As we think about Edith, let's take a deep breath. Feel your chest rise and fall, slow and easy. Imagine you're in her house, hearing the snores, the breaths, the purring, the clucks. Can you feel the warmth of being close? Can you smell the straw and the fire? Edith's not alone, and her night feels whole. We're with Edith in her cozy, crowded bed, knowing that sleep is near. Let's stay here in this warm, sleepy world and let the story carry us to rest. The night is deep and soft in Edith's village, like a big, cozy blanket covering the world. The stars are twinkling outside and the moon glows soft and silver. Inside Edith's small house, it's warm and quiet, with the fire burning low, casting a gentle light on the walls. Edith is in her bed, a lumpy straw mattress with a rough wool blanket pulled up to her chin. Her body is tired from a long day of work, and her eyes are heavy, ready to close. As she drifts off, the world hums around her. The wind whispers through the thatch roof. A goat bleats and then quiets. The fire pops, sending a spark into the dark, and somewhere far away an owl hoots, soft and gentle. These sounds aren't loud. They're like a lullaby rocking Edith into her first sleep. The night is alive, but it's gentle and it helps her rest. Let's listen with Edith, hearing the soft sounds of the night, feeling their calm, and drifting closer to sleep. Edith lies in her bed, the straw crinkling softly as she settles. Her husband Alf is beside her, snoring quietly, his breaths like a low hum. Her two boys, Wolf and Alfric, are curled up on their reed mats nearby, their breaths light and steady like tiny waves. A cat, Pippin, is at her feet, purring warmly. But it's the sounds outside and around the house that Edith hears now as she hovers on the edge of sleep. The night is full of little noises, each one soft and soothing, like a song that helps her relax. They wrap around her, making her feel safe and cozy, ready for her first sleep. The first sound Edith notices is the wind. It's gentle, not strong, and it whispers through the thatch roof of her house. The roof is made of straw, tied together to keep out the rain, and when the wind moves through it, it makes a soft, rustling sound, like someone brushing their hand over dry grass. Shhh, shhh, the wind seems to say, quiet and kind. Edith listens, her breath slowing to match the rhythm of the wind. It's not a scary sound, it's like the night is talking to her, telling her it's okay to rest. The wind moves around the house, slipping through tiny gaps in the walls, and it feels like a friend, keeping her company as she drifts off. Sometimes the wind carries other sounds from the village. Edith hears a goat bleat, a short, soft baa that comes from the pen near her house. The goat is probably Daisy's friend, a little gray goat named Nibble who likes to nibble on everything. The bleat is quick and then it stops, like Nibble just wanted to say good night before settling down. Edith smiles in the dark, her eyes closed. She loves